Hi, I'm Tom. It is July 7th, 2025, and I am 49 years and 24 days old. When I was 20, just after second year of university, I got a job working at a summer camp for young people with mental and physical disabilities. At one of the camps, there was a young man with Down syndrome who was and maybe even still is the most stylish person I had ever met. He would show up every morning wearing clearly pressed clothing. I don't know where he was pressing it. I don't know if he pre-pressed all of it and brought it with him, or if he had brought a steamer with him, or, I don't know. But his clothing was immaculate. He wore pressed trousers with a very distinct crease, and he always wore a button-up white shirt, and either a pair of Chelsea boots. My memory might be getting a little fuzzy here because this was almost 30 years ago, but either a pair of Chelsea boots or a pair of like leather brogues, some form of leather footwear. And I can't stress enough, this was a summer camp kind of for children. And this guy was just there every morning looking like the CEO of our new startup. And next to him, I looked like a donkey that had found some human clothes and managed to put them on somehow. And I really remember at that moment going, or at least thinking, man, I'm a mess. Like, what's going on here? Why am I so not put together the way this guy is put together? But it would be a few years after that where I kind of settled on a uniform. Between like the end of university and before I started law school, which was a period of 5 years, I only wore like graphic tees from Threadless, if you remember that company. I think they're still going. And that's what I was wearing when I started law school. And then at some point during that time, the sartorialist came up, a whole bunch of fashion bloggers came up. There was kind of like the urban lumberjack craze. Williamsburg became a thing, Cobra Snake, etc. And I was like, wow, I dress really badly. I should change this. And so I started wearing shirts and ties. I don't know where that was coming from. And then one of my classmates absolutely savaged me with his assessment, because someone was like, wow, Tom, you're always dressed so well. And he just looked at me and he was like, I really can't remember what he said, but it was savage. It was absolutely savage. In any event, that was when I really started to think again about what I wore, because when I was a kid, and I don't remember this so much as I have photographic evidence, I really cared about what I wore. Like, it was very important to me. There's all these photos of me as a kid wearing a bow tie and that kind of jazz. And I guess that's the reason that when I started to care more about what I was wearing again, I started wearing bow ties. And it seemed that's all you had to do. Like, the bar was so low in the early 2000s, and maybe even still now. If you just put on a bow tie, people were like, whoa, look at this fancy motherfucker. I mean, maybe it's still the same today. I'm sure if I wore a bow tie now, I would get the same kind of reaction. But in any event, I think like figuring out a personal style is one of those like low-key, not a life hack even. It's just like once you realize you can figure out a personal style, like you can just have something that you wear on a regular basis, it unlocks so much of the rest of just being a person. Because I guess in a way you don't have to like think about that anymore. It's like you just know what you're supposed to wear and like how it suits you. For some reason, that's what I was thinking about today.